Time, gentlemen, please. Good morning. We're back in Asakusa, as the tourists call it. Asakusa here. We've got some interesting light on this on the sidewalk there. You can see the shadows. That the sun is off on the right-hand side, pretty much behind the camera. But we're seeing some lights shining from the front, and they're reflecting off the Don Quixote building. The bright spots on the sidewalk there. That's the sun shining from the Don Quixote building. Good morning, good morning. Nice to be back here. How long has it been since we did a stream from down here? Weeks and weeks. Where am I here? Oh, it's giving me a funny... Okay, let's do that. Right. Okay. I don't know what you're going to be seeing here. I've been up and running here now for about an hour, and we have a flicker problem. At this end, on my OBS screen, I am seeing crazy flicker, both on the lights that are shining on the desk here and on the view from the MacBook camera. I don't know how bad it is at your end. For those of you who've just joined, we spent the last half an hour, me and a bunch of the early birds, trying to figure out how to stop this. Someone says it's the shutter speed of the camera. We've sort of been around this. The camera itself has no shutter speed setting. It's got a frame rate setting, but it doesn't have a shutter speed setting. And I'm standing here. This is the MacBook camera, the laptop camera. And if somebody knows how to change the shutter speed on that, let me know, because I don't think that's user accessible. We've tried a bunch of things. I don't want to go over it all again. We spent the last half an hour on this. We've changed this, turned that off, turned this on. I put some more lights on the front here that are different. And this is as minimal as we can get it. I've tried the PAL NTSC. I've tried everything in the book. Tokyo is 50 hertz. I've switched to a 50 frame rate, a 25 frame rate. None of it made any difference. Okay, I mentioned a moment ago in the early bird part of the stream, today's theme is grand opening. And I'm down here in the shop. So it's nothing to do with opening the shop. I know, I'm not sure where to start the conversational thread. There's lots of things to talk about that we're going to cover in the next few weeks that really can't be talked about today. But one of the results of a number of changes that have happened here in the last few months is that we have to buy a whole bunch more prints. You know our makeup here. We have prints that we make ourselves, that we publish ourselves here in the shop. And we have prints that we buy. We go out and we buy older prints and put those in the shop. Because of our printer situation, it's becoming more and 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 more difficult to get prints made here. We're all working at max capacity, but there's so many people coming in the door now that our own printing capacity it's not enough. It's not enough. People keep wanting prints that we just don't have. So over the past couple of months, it's not just something we're starting right now today, but we have been increasing our search. We're going out in many, many different marketplaces. We've expanded quite a lot to try and find interesting prints from a bunch of different sources. Someone's saying, did I sell my hair? It wasn't that long. Give me a break. It wasn't that long. Anyway, the point being, we've been buying a lot of prints from a whole bunch of different places, and a bunch of them stacked up on my desk over the past few days, because I've been kind of busy the last few days with a few different things. And now I have on my desk. So actually, today's stream is not going to be carving. It's not going to be printing. It won't be embossing. There won't be much more of that. There won't be embossing. It's going to be kind of a show and tell, except it's not really, I don't even know what's in a bunch of these packages. Watanabe-san and the crew have just stacked them on my desk. I know what's in one or two of them. The rest of them, I don't know. So it's just going to be today a kind of a chill stream, grand opening. We're going to open a bunch of packages and see what's inside. Now, most of the things we're going to see here are not from my collection. Usually when we do a show and tell, we've bought some print that is a really sort of nice little treasure that I'm going to keep for my collection. Most of these are going to be inspected, organized, written up, and a few days from now they will be on the other side of this room, boom, in the shop. And most of them will not be going online. We have a desperate need for prints in the shop. Anyway, enough talk. Let's get into some packages. Someone's asking paper out. I went upstairs this morning at 6 o'clock. There are no yellow dots on the fridge. Printers, nay. Printers. Nobody coming today. Won't be anybody coming tomorrow. Won't be anybody coming the day after that. So whatever. First thing on the pack is New York Times. I have a bit of a what do you call it? A request. A few months ago, you know the deal. I get the New York Times newspaper on Sundays so that I can do the Sunday puzzle. I don't do that every day. I don't buy the newspaper every day. I got no time to read it every day. But the habit is here in Tokyo on Saturday mornings, for those of you who don't know, on Saturday mornings here in Tokyo, we get the Sunday New York Times. We get an international edition. It's only this thick. It's not the massive thing that you get if you live in Manhattan or whatever. So I have the Sunday puzzle from this week. And I have it from last week, but I missed it 2 weeks while I was out in Canada. What are the dates there? I missed it for, 1 second please. th of February. I've tried to go online and get it and can't find any way to get it. And last time we had this problem, somebody in the chat, I can't remember who it was, somebody came up with the puzzle and was able to send it to me in a PDF form. So I'm missing those too. If somebody has a subscription or something, they wouldn't mind downloading a PDF or something and sending it to me, I would very much appreciate that. I'm not like going out to try and torrent it or something like this. I'm not a subscriber, but I pay the money for the puzzle every week, but I missed those two. Okay. I'll need a knife. Socks. People are asking about socks. I really don't know. I don't think there's going to be anything spectacular. Oh my God, look at this incredible object. As I said, I really don't know. This is sort of more and more the day-to-day stuff that we get. There will be Meiji prints in here, Taisho ear prints. There's probably going to be a bunch of post-war reproductions, things like Takamizawa or Adachi, stuff like that. Let's just see what's inside. Grand opening. By the time we finish this, there's going to be a stack of waste paper behind me. The staff are going to go nuts. What I should do, maybe, I should sort of put it in the back there out of the way. Okay, what have we got? Ooh. Look at this. Plastic packaging. How do we get things out of the plastic packaging? Okay, I remember this one because this is one of the items that I myself picked up a couple of days ago. I spent some time most evenings on Yahoo auctions. We can't get a lot of stuff from the Yahoo auctions here because we've talked about this before. Yahoo auctions it's a retail market. And we can't, quite often when a number of people want to get a print, people will, bid against us, of course. And for me, buying for our shop, I can't pay the good retail price because we want to sell it at a nice retail price. So this is a bit unusual. I got this from Yahoo auction. Nobody else seems to have noticed that it was there. So let's have a look. It's Kogyo, Terasaki Kogyo, or Kogyo, Terasaki, whatever. And it's just a bit of nothing. What I think this will be is this will be one page that has been liberated or stolen or swiped or chopped from one of those books that are called tehon. It will be a book that was meant for middle school or high school kids, and it will show simple brush pictures with sometimes a bit of color. And the students would have this tehon, page after page after page of books of pictures like this, and they would get their own sheet of paper and try and imitate this, try and copy. The point being, for kids to learn how to draw pictures with nice, good brush strokes. They're all using a brush, no pens, no pencils, nothing like that. Very nice. And they were, of course, they were made as textbooks to send to schools in the day when there was no cheap color offset printing. So woodblock printing was the way for making these books. Very, very nice little item. I get so much pleasure, you know, the brush strokes. I can't do it myself. I can't at all do it myself, but they're just so beautiful. I guess actually when you think about it, the picture we're seeing here is the picture of the people who would be using this picture. This looks like a young lady, perhaps in school, I don't know, a bit of a formal wear, I'm not sure, with a desk and a brush and paper. That's the target for this picture. Where am I going to stack these things up? I don't know. Moving right along. Actually, I see the Watanabe-san has prepared for me little plastic folders for these things to try and keep them safe. I don't remember what this one is. Let's see. I don't know. Let's have a look inside. I don't have a clue what this one is. Not many layers. Let's have a peek. What did she find here? Woodblock printed Christmas. Going by the letter style, it looks like something from Charles Dickens' era. Ooh, this has been around for a day or two. Ooh. Look at this. Are they? Yes, they are woodblock prints. Okay, look at this. This is not the most gorgeous, high-quality woodblock print ever made, but let's have a look at what we've got. A woodblock print tipped onto the front of a card. Can we see it? I can't even read it. What does it say? I can't read it. Oh, best wishes for the Christmas season. This part is not woodblock print. This part is, oops. This part is not a print. This is offset printed. I see, that's done in very light, so you have a chance to write your message here. What's the date on these? I don't know. I got to dig a bit further. This sort of thing started to appear in the Japanese market in the pre-war period, during the 1930s, when there was a lot of tourism in Japan, people coming from the boats, the passenger boats. And then again, after the war, once tourism picked up again in the 1950s and 60s, look at this, little woodblock prints, each one tipped onto a card. So I guess this is left over. It'll be dead stock left from a shop somewhere. The quality of the print itself is not great. They're pretty minimal. They are woodblock prints, but considering the size. We've seen before on this stream some gorgeous woodblock prints that are small postcard size that have an astonishing level of quality. These are pretty average. And these are that funny red pigment. We couldn't wash these off. If I wanted to take these off the backing, I could not. Excuse me. I couldn't put this in water because that red pigment will dissolve. They're all the same. Yeah. this, look at this. Look at this. Can you see what it is? It's one of those, I know, it's printed on wood. Give me a break. We've seen these before. We've got some in the shop. Look at this, look at this, look at this. Okay, it's not, you know, the other ones are printed on white paper. This is printed on thin slivers of wood, both the inside stuff and the print itself. This is a different kind. This is not ukiyo-e now. These are, look at this next one. This is Kyoto type stuff. Absolutely, these would have been made down in Kyoto. It's tourist type pictures and they're printed on super thin wood. You know, the Japanese are good at making planes, and you can imagine a plane taking a... We see these contests where people plane to try and make the thinnest shavings of wood they possibly can. And what has happened here is the wood, the thin piece of wood has been glued to a piece of paper to hold it all together. It's difficult to see at the back here. You can see the brown paper perhaps there. That's the back side. You're seeing a piece of brown paper, and on the front of it is pasted and astonishingly thin. That's wood, shaved wood, glued to paper, and then with a woodblock print printed on top of it. Wow, wow, wow. Oh, there's going to be a wrestling match between me and Watanabe-san. She will want these for the shop. She found them. This is Hiraizumi Desho. This is the famous shrine temple up in... Can you read it? Is it too dark? What does it say? I can't see it. What does it say? Uchida. Uchida Woodblock Print, Kyoto, Japan. The Uchida Company. Fun and games. There's more. What's happening? Oh, envelopes. I see. The package would have come with envelopes so people could send them. Sokka. The gift cards with the envelopes. Wonderful, wonderful. Hee hee hee. Doing woodblock prints on wood. Very cool, very cool. Okay, some of those will be liberated for the shop. Some of those are going to stay here in the collection. Very nice. Watanabe-san, congratulations finding these. Moving right along. Well, she passed it on to me for opening. I asked her a couple of days ago, do you have stuff, you know, that I can use for the stream on Saturday? And she's like, yeah, sure. There's so much stuff pouring through these days that, you know, whatever. What's next? Kind of light, one print? I don't know. Let's see. So I zoom out a bit, you can see the unboxing. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle bells. I have no way to recycle this at all. Does Mokuhankan go through much plastic waste? We try and minimize it. You know, that piece of plastic just now, there's really no way we can do anything with this. This is going to have to go, this will go into the, this, because it's unusable, will go into the burnable garbage. This is the instructions from City Hall. if this had been larger, and we would try and tease off the tape so that we could use it again when we're shipping things. But this is now too small, too much bad tape. It was necessary to chop it up. This will go in burnable garbage. That's not my choice. That's per instructions of the City Hall. Of course, when that stuff is reusable, we reuse it. Every one of our shipping places, the back room here, upstairs, and in Ome, we always reuse as much as possible, of course. And it's also a bit embarrassing in Japan, because in Japan, when you send something, somebody buys something online, the store ships it. There's no way, culturally in Japan, you can use recycled plastic and stuff. The customer would get it. What the customer wants is sort of an Apple level of gorgeous packaging, 6 layers and all protected. And we don't do that. Those of you who've ordered prints from us, it'll be sometimes recycled stuff, We're trying to do the right thing wherever possible. I don't have any idea what this is. She's got a message. Oh, she knows what it is. It's a designer, Akamatsu Rinsaku, and it's 10 views of Osaka. I don't have any idea. Let's get in there. It's clearly 20th century stuff. This is not, I'm not familiar with these at all. Let's have a look. This is 20th century stuff. The paper is quite white, quite bright. This is post-war. First guess, 1960 something. And it's a very, what's the word? It's a, woodblock prints, but it actually looks like sort of a rough brush painting style. We've got a bad angle here now because the camera's so far away. It is a woodblock print made from clearly a watercolor drawing / painting. And there must be views of Osaka. What does it say? Toyokuni Jinja. I don't know. Is that in Osaka? And it's Taisho Bashi. It's views of Osaka. This is not the kind of print that Dave really gets off on. Obviously, there was a brush stroke, a watercolor original done in very fluff, rough style. And the printmaking team has replicated this. Place where the brush ran out of ink, the printmaking team has carved, we call kasurebori, scratch carving, to make it look like the brush was running out of ink. So if you didn't know any better, you could actually be fooled and think that this is the brush painting itself. But it's not. It's a woodblock print made after a brush painting. The rough style. There's people that like it, whatever. Dave isn't. It doesn't ring my bells at all. Someone's got it. They said 1947. The paper is a lot whiter than that. There's no way this paper is 1947. Older than me. I don't think so. Maybe somebody found the design, the original design. Died in 1953. He's got some stuff in the British Museum. Okay, my guess then is perhaps this was originally published back then, but the paper here is so white and pulpy. This is not nice Japanese washi. This is bright white pulpy paper. Could it have been made back then in 1947? I wouldn't bet on that. But I don't know. We'd have to see. Have to learn more about this. Someone's saying this is museum worthy, not by Dave's standards. But the thing is, when you move into the world of artists, this is 20th century stuff. So it's not about the craftsman so much, it's about the artist. And then you get brand name artists, people who are worth something. Not to me at all. We will put these in the shop, but there will be visitors who like this, absolutely. My taste doesn't, we don't run this place totally now by my taste. You know, I'm the control freak who wants the way it was done back in the old Meiji and Edo times. Every stroke a masterpiece. You can see they've carved bits of wood that replicate the brush strokes of the watercolor brush. Pop, 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 pop. What was the name again? I didn't recognize it. Rinsaku Akamatsu. His name literally means red pine. Rinsaku Akamatsu. So maybe that's an art name rather than a family name. I don't know. Someone's got information on this? So the image looks crude, but the skill to replicate is advanced. Yes, you're right. That's correct. You know, it's not all that easy to do. So whatever. Just I'm dissing it a little bit because it's not my personal taste. But I should just basically at some point shut up and put the thing out there. It says 10 views of Osaka. That's all I know. It's new to me, this. That's just the address of where it came from. No idea what's inside. I don't know. Let's keep moving. How's our time? 8:26. Are we getting through these things? We might be finished early. Oh my God, I don't know. How many packages is that? There's 1, 2, 3, 4 packages left. Maybe I'm rushing through this too much. Someone's got a link to that, the British Museum. Okay, thank you. Akamatsu Rinsaku. I'd be curious then, the ones in the British Museum set there, are they bright white like this, or are they more of a deeply toned color? Without seeing that, my guess is that they would be toned a bit, and this one being bright white would be perhaps a later printing from those blocks. But I don't know. I don't know. Again, people use this bubble plastic and they put that strong tape on that doesn't come off. Can we get it off easily? I don't know. I shouldn't worry so much about this. It's kind of a joke sometimes among the staff. You know, they've seen me do this opening packages where I try to spend like 15, 20 minutes trying to open it carefully so that we'd be able to reuse the one little tiny piece of plastic. See, this tape, if you tear it off quickly, it does come off and we could reuse the bubble wrap. But how much is worth the time, you know? Also, the other part of it, whenever I'm doing this, I can't help but remember Christmas morning, you know. I mean, of course, it's fun opening these packages and stuff, but I can't help but remember, and our family, my mom in particular, was kind of strict about this. If for example, the kids, Dave's 8 years old, my brother's 5 years old or something, Christmas morning, it all had to be done very carefully and slowly and politely. We couldn't just grab something and rip off the packaging, whatever. My mother would have been really upset about that. She'd like even take something away from us. You can't treat your things with more respect than that. So going back to whatever it was, whatever age I was, you know, you've got this morning's Christmas presents under the tree, the 5, 6, 7 packages that are there, you know. And we had to do just sort of what I'm doing now. We had to sort of open them carefully and with respect. And there was none of this crap and throwing the paper all around. So we'd open something and pass, you know, I just tossed that paper, but we'd pass the paper to Mom and she'd sit there folding wrapping paper and stuff. I wonder, maybe she'd like use some of it again a year later. I don't know. I don't have that much of a clear memory of it. So maybe you've still got a little bit of the same Dave is in here now, you know. Someone's saying for Christmas nothing was wrapped, everything was put in your pillowcase. Been there, done that. When we first came to Canada in 1957, there would have been a tree, I think, in the living room, but it wasn't, there were no Christmas presents under the tree. Christmas presents for us at that time, I'm talking about 1957, 1958, whatever, 59, that era. Christmas presents for us were delivered by Santa Claus, and they were nice print, and they were left in a pillowcase. So before going to bed, we each, myself and my brother, before my sister was born, we put a pillowcase at the bottom of our bed, and in the morning, if we were good, there were, you know, 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 little packages inside the pillowcase. And at some point, maybe in the early 1960s, we switched to the Canadian style, the North American style of having presents under the tree. What is this? What is this? It says Utamaro. Look at the back of this thing. Look at this. I'm going to get that out of there. Someone's got it. This goes in personal collections. So is that decided by my reaction when I open the package? Oh my God, I want this. Relax, I'm being careful. Don't panic. I'm being very, 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 very careful. The edge of the plastic has tape all over it. If I try and pull the print out, the chance of getting stuck on the tape is extremely high. All right, what have we got here? It says, I don't know, whoever made this has put a signature of Utamaro on the front, but I don't know. Thin paper. Do we have a, where's the plastic folder? Do we have a plastic folder for it? I don't know what she did. Okay, I have no idea what this is. Who made this? It's thin washi paper. The deep, rich coloring is typical of Taisho era stuff, but the Taisho prints had much thicker paper than this. Pigment right through. Huge power with the Baron. Very, very wet printing. Not common for that era at all. The paper would have been saturated. And the power on the back would have been incredible. The sizing must have been extremely strong. But the paper is very, very thin. This is beautifully made. Hontoni beautifully made. I have no idea what the design is. It says Utamaro, but a rainy season. I think what it probably is, I'm going to take a guess here. Utamaro designed, of course, many standard Oban prints. Beauties, Bijinga, they were single prints, they were diptychs, they were whatever. But Utamaro also was responsible for a lot of book pages, for doing books. And my first guess, we'll have to look this up, maybe somebody's already found it. My guess is it would be from a book, one of the books he did. And it will be a clip, just part of a larger image. I'm going to find out because somebody is going to find it, I'm sure. Has somebody got it already? To Geisha and Porter in Wind and Rain at Night, 1801. But what's the source? You got it. Volume 2 of the book, Flowers of the Four Seasons. Wait, I have that book. I have that book. Back in 1 minute. 1 minute. Was the mic active up there in the library? I wasn't talking all the way through. Here it is. It's in 2 books. Flowers of Four Seasons, Book 1 and Book 2. Let's have a look. Start with Book 1, or what season, whatever. It's got that famous picture in, the one with the thunderstorm. The guy putting the shutters up and the women hiding in the... There it is. Here it is. Here it is. Okay, so here's the setup. The book is fairly large. It's about an A4 size book. And what I've got here is not an original book from the Utamaro era, 1790s. No way can I afford something like that. What we have here is a Taisho era reproduction. It's Taisho 5, a Japanese, the Tokyo Publishing Company, that's made a reproduction of the original Utamaro book. And here we have it. There's the right-hand page and the left-hand page. And I'm not quite sure about this. We'd have to go look for a museum copy. The original version of the book could have been made on smaller paper with a not much of a gutter. The pages could have been visible like this, side by side. I don't quite know why the Taisho era company made this in such a large format, but I don't remember. The original perhaps also was like this. So there we are, look at that. So some enterprising person, there's no copyright here, of course. We could do this ourselves if we want. We have done. You take an image from an older source and reproduce it again in independent format. Dave has done this. But this is done so nicely. Look at this. Who found the book there? Who found the reference? Eggs, chocolate eggs. Pass them around, please. I didn't see who was able to find this. Thank you very much. Who found this? I can't see. Whatever, you guys know who you are. Thank you very much. Dave's off to get Kobe beef. So what's the scoop? The original book was smaller than this? I would guess. The original book was probably about a B5 size. I don't think they were this large. Okay, that was quite an accomplishment, finding that in less than 1 minute in that room up there. You've got to be kidding. The idea, of course, is to have everything in the system cataloged, put it all with code numbers, folder numbers, so that if I had wanted to know where it was, I quickly go to my index, click, 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 Utamaro flowers, it pops up, it would tell me CCA4004, I go to the shelf, pull it off. That's the plan, but at the moment it's just a room full of cardboard boxes. This copy is not going in the store, this copy is staying in my collection. Sorry about that. Well, no apologies necessary. Coming soon to a museum near you. But it's also so nicely made. I'm sorry, all I can do is express it in words. It's thin paper, but beautifully deeply printed. Colors are rich. Looking at it closely, a few places here, the lines seem to be broken and bashed up a little bit. So this may be a bit worn out blocks. This may be not an early copy, I don't know. Without seeing more copies later, it's hard to tell. Very, very nice. Thank you very much. Someone saying, haha, I knew Dave would keep it. And someone says it's nicer than the original. Well, it's different than the original. If you had the real original, the Utamaro book, you would, I've never seen it, but I've seen similar Utamaro books. You would gasp at the level of delicacy. The original book would float in your hands. The carving will be delicate. The printing will be delicate. This is bold and strong. The original book would have been anything but. It would have been, again, I keep coming back to the same word, delicate in the extreme. Oh, there was a excuse me. I never know what to do when I blow my nose. I got the microphone on my chest, so I blow my nose right into the microphone. Try and cover it up while I do that. Okay, let's move on. What do we got? Oh my God, oh, there's three left. 2 big packages and a small one. We're halfway through. Ooh. I hope we'll have lots of content. Actually, given that these are big packages, there's probably going to be lots to look at. Oh, I know what this one is. She told me she got this. These next prints, I won't be keeping these at all. This next batch, I know what they are. They will be going into the shop. And they will be going into the shop probably this weekend because we are desperate. That's part of what this documentation is. Watanabe-san has left me with, documentation. She's already assigned code numbers to some of these things. So our job this weekend, me and the shop staff over the weekend, our job is to not just open these like this, but to sort them out, for Dave to verify that the stuff's okay, make sure the condition is all right. And if I give it the okay, we go through and start printing labels and package them. Some of these things will be in the shop this afternoon, actually, from this group. She's already prepped it. She knows what's in here. She knows what she wants. She's chosen her price. And all we have to do now is verify the condition is okay and start packaging. Okay, we've had these before in the shop. These are from, as far as I can tell, the 1950s. A publishing, excuse me, a publishing company called Kyoeido. If you've seen some of our videos showing the Tokaido prints, you'll know that at one point I showed a couple of very, very large Tokaido series prints, double the size of what they normally are. I don't know if we've got any here as references. No, they're difficult to keep. As soon as we get them in, they disappear straight away. But you'll have seen them in my videos. Tokaido prints that are double the size of real ones. Those were Kyoeido. And this is the same company. And this is a broken set. It's a partial set of reproductions of classical ukiyo-e prints. The full set, I think, has 24 prints in it. She's got 12 of them here. And we have to liberate these, absolutely. The packaging it came in, these prints came in, is awful. There's just no other word to describe it. It's cardboard. It's just literally cardboard. Now, it hasn't really gone grotesquely foxed yet, but it's toned, it's full of acid. They've got to get the prints away from this stuff as much as possible. This one too, it's in these terrible, terrible, look at this. Terrible paper. And it's lightly glued in. What should I do here? What's the time? 8:47. Tell you what, let me get the prints. Let's just go through and open them to the first level first. And then if it turns out we have time, I can then start doing some liberation work. So first step, get rid of this awful, terrible packaging. And then also it'll let us see what's in. Recognize this one? We have Utamaro again. And this is a very interesting one. It's one of three. Hopefully, all three will be in here. It's a triptych, and the interesting point about this is it's printed with red. The outlines of the women's faces and bodies are printed with red pigment, not black. Why would the original publisher have done this, or why would Utamaro have called for this? I don't know. But it makes for a very nice, interesting effect. Let's see if we can find the matching prints here. How am I going to do this? Let's put this down on the floor. Part of this, doing these jobs, you know, this thing was published, as I said, in the 1950s. So it's just about as old as I am. I was published in 1951. I'm now 73. So this print set also dates from the same era. It might not be quite as old as me. It might have been 1955, 1960, somewhere around there. But it's been in this packaging for 70 plus years. Stuck inside this thing. Stuck on somebody's bookshelf. Somebody who would maybe look at it. I mean, I can't verify how many times this print has been opened and looked at. I don't know. Look at this. Water. What I was getting at was that these prints have been in this packaging, stuck there. Oh my God, we are rescuing this stuff just in time. Look at this. The print so far seems okay. It's not going to be 100%, but my God, it is now, the print is just yelling at me, at last, I'm free, let me out of here. After 70 years. So do I feel bad about breaking up this set? No. These prints are being liberated. Absolutely liberated. So it seems to be sets of 3. All of them. There's 12 prints here. They're going to be in sets of 3. So this was the one group. To show you can see. I can't lay them all out side by side. Here we are. That's the set of 3. Utamaro did a number of different triptychs based on Ama, the ladies who did the undersea fishing, going down to get abalone. This one looks kind of nice, you know. The carving is decent. Look at this. Look at this. It's quite respectable. Sometimes we get the printing, it's just so bad. Look at the gradation. Ooh. And here, look, they've put a touch of depth inside where her leg folds. An atenashi bokashi, a gradation with no edge. It's just rubbed on in the middle of an open area. Good gradation on this. They have taken some trouble with this. These are nice. Sales pitch, whatever. These are coming soon to a shop near you. Rather, a shop not near you. Someone says, wish they stuck with one or the other, deep color or softer tones. What do you mean? You mean no gradation? I'm not sure what you mean. The whole question of getting stuff in our catalog online or in the shop. Look at this. For us to put things in the shop are simple. We know what we paid for it. We know rough value of this sort of thing. We have to verify it's okay, not moldy, not torn. We put it into the packaging. You know, these things will go into the shop in a form something like this. Once it's all cleaned up, we put it on corner mount on acid-free paper. There's a backboard with a story if we've got it, price it, out it goes. So that can all be done in a few minutes. So as I said, some of these may be in the shop already this afternoon. But to get something online is a totally different story. Before it gets packaged, before it goes into these packagings, it has to go up for photography. So it goes into the stack of hundreds of prints upstairs waiting for photography. Taking pictures is not, it's not just pachik, pachik, pachik. We've got to stand, lights, get action camera, roll them. It takes time, and then the pictures have to be color balanced, go into Photoshop, they got to be trimmed, they got to be edited. It's a lot of work to get the things online. And then, of course, just online, that's not just all there is to it. When we put a print in the shop, it's enough for us actually just to simply identify it. There's perhaps a title for it, who's it by, when it was made, roughly what's the age on this thing. But to put something online, we need a description. We need to be able to describe everything about it. The photography has to be done, not just one shot, but the photography has to be done. For example, look at this one. This one here has, there's an ink defect. There's the printer's ink in the corner, and there's an ink defect here. The printer's been a bit careless. But if we were putting this one online, we have to specifically shoot this corner. We have to warn the people, be careful, there's ink spots, blah, 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 blah. So putting the print online is so much more work and time. It's not just a question of, the shutter time is click, the scanning is click. It's the editing the photographs, going through, making sure we've got every tiny defect described. And the problem is, it takes sometimes so much time to do that. We pay the staff reasonably well here. By the time we've taken all the time to do that, we've eaten up anything that could be the profit on the print. That works fine if your print is a couple of $1,000 or some hundreds of dollars. You can take the time to do that, to put them online. But if the print is only going to be a $30 item or something, we can't spend an hour or 2 hours of staff time prepping it to go online. This is just a fact of life, I'm sorry. So we have lots of prints in the shop here that will never be in the online catalog. Do as they do on eBay. Photo is part of description, review carefully. Come on, we can't roll like that. I'm sorry. We want people to order something online, knowing what they're getting, opening the package and being pleased, not opening the package and saying, oh shit, look at that. This is a set of 3. It's originally it was a scroll painting by Katsukawa Shunsho, and there's 3. It's a snow, moon, and flowers. Can I? No, bam. What is it? I forget. Let me get the 3 of them before. That would have been snow, I think. This is moon. Setsugetsuka. Setsugetsuka. We have flowers, we have moon, and we have snow. This will be a triptych. We will not be selling these 3 one by one. These 3 will go together as a triptych. And yeah, somebody noticed we have a, you tell me what this is. I guess it's a cat. I guess. There's a little bell on the collar. I guess it's a cat. That doesn't look like any cat tail that I've ever seen in my life, but your guess is as good as mine. I don't know. I have no dog in that fight. Also, the other one I didn't show. The previous one is an Utamaro triptych as well. Where is it? Which way does it go? Here. The previous one was also a triptych. Quite spectacular, you know? Quite spectacular. Reasonably well done. And 3 more. What year did cats make it to Japan? I have no idea whatsoever. No idea. Where did cats come from? Did they get domesticated in the Middle East or something, along with dogs and stuff? I know absolutely nothing about that. I'm sure they were here a long, long time ago. They didn't come with the Europeans. No way. Cats must have been here for 1 billion years. First known cat was Egypt, was it? Out of Africa? I don't know. Yeah, of course, when you speak of Egypt, all those mummified cats, right? Okay, these are nice too. These are different. What these 3 are, up to now, these prints I've shown you, these 3 are reproductions of originally an ukiyo-e print. The first 3 I showed you, they were reproductions of ukiyo-e. The second group of 3 that I showed you, or the third group of 3, whatever, these were reproductions of paintings, scroll paintings. And these 3 are the same. They may not be scroll paintings, they may be screen paintings. I don't know the exact origin. These 3 go way back. The paintings on the original, and we can tell from the hairstyle and the kimono style. Dave's not an expert on this at all, but roughly he can see the difference in the way that women were depicted and the way that clothing runs. This is an Edo era original. The hairstyles would be from the 1700s, etc., etc. This one, the original painting, was way earlier. 1600s, perhaps even 1500s. This would have been a screen painting or perhaps a scroll. I don't know. And the reproduction here is really, really nicely done. You see the shine here. They've done it. They've put a mica powder on the background of this thing. And this is quite a spectacular little reproduction. Beautifully done. Look at this. Ooh. This is the 1950s. They still had a bunch of good craftsmen still left over. And there's a set of 3 of them. And they're dancers, obviously. I don't know if they're all 3 of them standing there doing the same dance. I don't know anything about the dance itself. But this is a very famous set of paintings. Early ukiyo-e, very, very early ukiyo-e, that's here translated into woodblock prints by the Kyoeido company. There's no gold here. There's no actual gold. What you're seeing as what looks like a gold background is nothing of the sort. It's a brown, a sepia brown printed background, and on top of it there is a glue printed, and on top of that they have dusted it with mica powder, and flakes of ground up mica. So there's no gold involved here whatsoever. And when you see something like this on the neck, again, there's no physical gold. This would be bronze, akakimpun, I believe. Although having said that, it still looks quite shiny, and from the 1950s, that should have oxidized a bit more. Did they use something else that didn't oxidize? Could it be gold? I don't think so. I don't think so. It's possible, but I doubt it. Brass, I think brass even oxidizes more than that. So I'm sorry, I'm not knowledgeable about this. If these had been a silver color, I would have said it is the substance we call nickel silver, which is, there's no silver in nickel silver. It's a compound of some other stuff. I honestly don't know, I'm sorry. I would have guessed akakimpun, powdered bronze, but given the age of this, that should be more tarnished than we see. I don't know. I don't know. We're not talking about anything very expensive. These prints will be in the shop for, if they were one by one, they would probably be about 12,000 yen. The three of them together, I don't know what price she'll put on them. They'll probably be in the shop at about maybe 30,000 yen. I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know what she paid for them. And I'd better get a protective plastic folder for this. Someone's at the door. One second, let me go and say hello. Good morning. Hello. Nobody's here. Nobody's here yet. Well, actually, we're doing live streaming right now still, so the shop's not open just yet.
I didn't know about that.
But the staff will be here from about 9:30 or so. They'll be here.
I came in yesterday and bought a few things.
I don't reckon. I'm sorry.
That's okay. In the afternoon. So we're doing a few things and then we'll come back. But yeah, it's a beautiful store.
Well, thank you very much.
Absolutely
I'm here in
beautiful.
Australia, here, New Zealand, Australia.
Australia. Yeah. Yeah, Central Coast. We're about an hour and a half north of Sydney.
Really? It's out in the boonies a bit then.
Pardon?
Out in the boonies a little bit then.
No,
Not so?
it's caught up. Definitely caught up from what it used to be. So
I've never been there yet. I'm sorry.
Oh, you should go. It's not too bad a flight. This is my first time overseas. My husband this year is 50. My eldest son will be 21. Daughter will be 18, and my youngest son will be 15. So this was a surprise trip.
Ah, so the whole family's together.
The whole family. We're staying across the road.
Okay, but with teenagers like that, there's not going to be many more years where you're going to be able to do this as a family.
They'll
so
never forget this.
Yeah,
They're a good age, so we're very lucky.
Is it the first time in Japan for all of you guys?
I've never been overseas.
But so the whole family, is it the first time?
Yeah. So my husband travels a lot for work, but none of us have been overseas. So yeah, so it's very exciting. But yeah, I'll come back in and spend a bit more time. But I saw something yesterday afternoon and we had something scheduled, so I quickly bought it and then said I'll be back tomorrow.
All right. Okay. Well, the staff will be here from about 9:30 when they arrive. So thank you very much. Okay. Thank you. Bye bye. Excuse me. The trash pickup. Today is March the 1st. Tomorrow is the Tokyo Marathon, which starts somewhere downtown and does its marathon thing, and it comes up to Asakusa, not on this street. It won't be coming down this street. This street is way too narrow for the Tokyo Marathon, which is tens and tens and tens of thousands of people. But it comes up near Kaminarimon. Their turnaround point is the Kaminarimon, or one of the turnaround points is the Kaminarimon lantern in front of Sensoji. So tomorrow is going to be an absolute bear garden. If you're in Tokyo and you're thinking about coming near Asakusa, do it today. Don't even think about coming tomorrow, because from about 10 to whatever, 4, 5, or 6 or something, the stations are jammed, the streets are closed, there's No, you can't get from A to B because that's the marathon course, and you've got to go sort of all around. It's very, very difficult to get around here. We will all be. When we get here in the morning tomorrow, I'll be getting lunch, getting it ready, packing, because there's no way to go outside and fool around. So, a gang of people wearing red robes, picked your street, clean of litter, whatever. There's cleanup crews all over the place right now. I saw, when I was chatting with the Australian lady, I saw somebody behind her picking up, but I didn't get a chance to notice. Am I going to stream it? No, not at all. Not at all. None of my business. And as I said, the marathon doesn't come on our street. It's a couple of blocks away on the main street. So, I don't know what that garbage picking up was all about, other than that the district will be sparkling, spanking clean for tomorrow morning. Absolutely. Okay, how are we doing for time? It's 9:06. I've got 2 more packages left. I think maybe we'll be coming just okay. And if we do get through it, then I will come back here and we can start some removal. As you saw, these prints are glued in to their folders, but not horribly glued in. This company has been really sensible. The prints are mostly loose. There's one part at the top where they've been tipped in with glue. And I will try and shave each of the prints off the backing without harming them. We've done some of that on streams before. Okay, what's left? What's next? We got 2. One biggie. Oh, it says glass. So it's a set of prints with a frame. Okay, let's do that last. Let's get this little one. What's this? What about you? Pack this. Okay, I don't know. No idea. Let's have a look. I bought some newspaper. Excuse me. Oh, I remember seeing this on an auction a million years ago. This must have been sitting on my desk now for months. It got just lost in all the clutter. Yeah. What we've got here, a bizarre little auction came up. This was on Yahoo Auctions. What we've got here, these are book pages. It looks like one thing, but it's not. It's 1, 2, 3. And it's 3 book pages, and the one on the left and right seem to come from the same book. They have the same kind of paper, they have the same kind of borderline, and they have the same kind of strange writing. The one in the middle, I don't know what it is at all. It looks like something different. And the reason I picked it up, this was on Yahoo Auction, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 months ago. It went like for $1, 100 yen or something like this. And I wanted it because, where's a piece of cardboard just to hold it up, to help me hold it up here. Put your Sherlock Holmes hats on and tell me, what are we looking at? It's a woodblock print clearly from the Meiji era. This is not Japanese type work at all. It looks like engraving lines, except it's made by the Japanese woodblock technique, but it's certainly not a Japanese original. And what have they done? Can you read this? I certainly can't. It's sort of Japanese and sort of not Japanese. Naga, なんとか世の遠ねむりのみぬめずめぬみの rifubune no otomo ya. I have no idea what this is all about. So we'll get the ladies in the shop here to try and see if they can decipher this. It looks like Japanese words written with Western script all connected together. That one. This one I have no idea. Ikinu, I have no idea what it is. No idea. So it's a silly little thing. It's not worth anything. It's not a wonderfully beautiful woodblock print. I was just looked at those things and tried to figure out what are we looking at. Someone's already got a link to this. I don't know. Someone says it's backwards. Ono yi bayan oni ryu. No, I don't think so. To no ne muri no. Nori mu ne no to. On irume no no. Minumezume. I have no idea. I have no idea. So anyway, there it is. And can we just, okay, let's just get it so you can see it and maybe inspect it later. There's page 1. Here's the other page. So you can clip it and look at it and try and figure out what's going on. And then we have what looks like some sort of a Japanese title page here. Something to do with trains. Oh, wait. Okay, there's some hints here. The train, by this era, there's trains on the Tokaido. And this is, it looks like, good morning, we're live. I think it's Dochu Hiza Kurige.
Hi.
でもHizaですか?
膝です。Yes.
But it's a train. Dochu Hiza
Yeah,
Kurige Yosho. Seiyo でしょ?
So Western country.
Western style of the Hizakurige story on the Tokaido. Nani?
なんとか書く。
Okay, no Russian. It's just you can see there's some strange. They've tried to imitate European
Different
writing,
Another
or Japanese
Tokaido.
writing.
Wow.
So it's no big deal. It's just it's a curiosity. So no idea. We'll try and look at it. How you doing? Good morning.
Fine. It's still chilly. Forecast said today 18 degrees.
That's out in Hajima where you live? Because I went out this morning to buy my
Here,
newspaper.
I put on this much.
Really? When I went to buy my newspaper this morning, I thought, wow, it's so warm. It's so Okay, here's our last package today, 9:13. Looks like we're coming up just perfectly on time. Right, but this has a frame inside. Okay? We should zoom out. Oh, someone's got the book. Somebody found it, Sadako, online already. Huh? Somebody seems to have found it.
Found what?
The book, the pages that I just showed, they seem to have found the book. I don't have time to look for it right now. Somebody's found it. The pages are from this book.
Small.
Ah, domo, ohayou gozaimasu. Okay. Package. We started opening packages today at 8 o'clock.
Which means
Hi, thank you.
we purchased a lot.
Pardon me?
We purchased a lot.
We've been buying like crazy. We have to. We're turning into a used bookstore. Sorry about the noise. How do I get in here? I'm trying to do it. Oh, here's the opening. I was trying to keep as much of the plastic as I could. There we go. Up. Okay, thank you. Whoa, sure. Plastic. One of these must be a frame and one must be prints. So here's the prints, good. So the frame can just... I'm sorry, there's a huge mess here. I'm looking at the table. What will happen to this frame is later today, this will go outside the front of the shop with a sign that says, help yourself. Because we ourselves don't want these things. Tourists can't buy glass frames and walk away with them. I'll deal with it later. It's okay. I have to check the glass. So we don't want them. We try not to buy frames, but sometimes the dealer is just selling prints plus frame, no way around it. So what have we got? And would this maybe, Sadako, don't throw that away yet, because this may be a set. No, it may be a set that we're going to keep as a set. I don't know. Eggs for the first person going to read it. They've simplified the kanji. This is the sai in Hokusai. They've made a simpler version of this. Hokusai Fugaku Sanju Rokke. There's no way all 36 are in here. What do you mean clapping? Oh, yes. Excuse me. Big delivery. I was hoping that would come earlier. Hundreds of prints. どこでもいいですから。ありがとうございます。着払いじゃないですね。1個着払い。いくらですか？
じゃあ私やります。
1080円。はい。We can't get in.
I can.
You got in, okay.
1080ここから取っていい？
Okay, careful with the cables. はい。No. もちろん絶対触らないです。はい。下。ごめん、もう一回。1080円。1080円。
180。100の内側。あ、ちょっと待って。50円。そうお願いします。お世話様です。
重くて申し訳ない。ありがとうございました。
お願いします。
もうクリスマス。Thank you. We're just finishing, and pile of stuff bigger than what we've just chewed through, way bigger. Hundreds of prints have just arrived. But I can't wait till Monday. We've got to open them now because this stuff is getting processed. So maybe I'll save one or two of them for later. I don't know. Actually, we should think about this. This is Saturday. Monday's stream is, I think, we're trying to set this up. Mafalda-san is in town. She's just finished her exhibition of scroll paintings up in Kanagawa. In Kanazawa. And she's back in Tokyo. So she may be coming around today to say hello. I think we're going to ask her to come by on Monday to bring her brush. So the current plan is Monday stream, 2 days from now, will be a guest corner from Mafalda from Switzerland with her brush. And we can, ask her to paint a painting for us. That's the plan for Monday. I think she will say yes. I think she's game for this sort of thing. And she might bring some scroll paintings to show us. And we'll fool around with the brush. She will fool around with the brush, not me. How's our time? 9:20. Just see what's inside this one. This can't be a complete set. There's no way, because the series, it says Fugaku Sanju Rokke, that says 36, but there's actually 46 in the series. It's Takamizawa, so the quality is going to be nice. Oh, I see. It says, okay, it's a group. Okay, what we have is this. Again, as I said, the series says 36 views of Mount Fuji. This says group number 1, Dai Ishu, and there's 12 of them. So they must have taken the set and selling it in a set of 4 different packages. So I got to be careful with this because it's possible Watanabe-san will want to keep this as a set and put it out into the world as a set. The one I finished a few minutes ago was clearly not capable of going out in its own packaging. These may be. So I'm not going to sit here taking it all apart, roughly. So these are nice. It's clean packaging from Takamizawa. They're not so old. This would be 1970s, possibly 1980s. Look at the gradation. They can still do this. Very nicely done. I don't think there's a date. There's no date, but it's Koike-san is the carver. And the printer, I can't read the kanji on the first one. Nani Hara. I don't know him at all. Nakajo-san, I know Nakajo-san, and Ogura-san. So I know the carvers, I met both of them, and I met one of the printers. But I never met that man. Orihara, I've never even heard of him. Can we zoom in a bit more, maybe? So this is nice, good quality paper, clean, good, sharp printing. Takamizawa stamp on the back. I think we might be just leaving this. It's a good set. There is a bit of a conundrum here though, you know. If you are the owner of a set like this, to look at each print is a bit of a job. You've got to, as you saw me do this, you've got to open it up, take it out of its envelope, put it away, get the next envelope, look at it, take it out. Looking at the prints becomes kind of a chore. So the packaging is for storage or the packaging is for viewing. You saw a minute ago it came with a frame. And the idea with these sets, the publisher, is you buy the set of 12 and you get a frame. And of course what you would do is, I'm sure they're marked at the same size. So you would take this thing, fold it backwards. The frame has an easy open back. This goes into the frame, you put it up on the wall, and when you want to change it, you open the frame again and change it. It's a wonderful theory, but in practice, people simply don't do that. Good morning, it's okay, don't worry. We're still alive for a few minutes. Now the danger here, and I haven't gone through this yet, but what is very, very, very possible, this is a set of 12. Well, no, the frame came with it, so we're okay. But what we'll find frequently is we get the set of 12, one is missing and the frame is missing because it's on the wall somewhere. Somebody didn't keep them together. But because the frame came with this, I think we are going to find all 12 prints. You know, if the frame was still up on the wall in somebody's house, then one of the prints would be in it. So this is probably a full set of 12 prints.
12.
Yeah, I mean, are they all?
Yeah, I've
counted. Counting envelopes, yes. What will happen is there's 12 envelopes, one of them is empty, the frame is missing, and it's on somebody's living room wall, never to be matched up again. But this looks like a complete set. And they're nicely done. This is good. It's such a pleasure when you see prints they've taken care. The registration matches, the color's smooth. Look at this, the mixing quality, the tint of this green is so pleasant just to look at it, you know. Can I get a bit closer to the camera? Hokusai horses again. They're probably talking about that on the stream. I don't know. It's such a pleasure when they're done nicely, you know. I'm raving to Sadako about the green. That green is just, it's got a, you try mixing that. If you think it's easy, you try mixing that. It's yellow and blue, and there's a touch of sumi, of gray in there as well to make this. And if you think it's easy to match that, then you go ahead, take over my job. And the combination here. There's so much pleasure in these things when they're nicely made. Even the tree branches, the balance between the wood, it's just so nicely made. the gradation too. Smooth all the way across. Good. Watanabe-san found a really nice group here. Can't go through them all. I don't think we have time. Let's open one or two more. So. There's someone saying, please check in the frame. We'll chuck out. Of course, we will look in. Somebody said there might be one in the frame. We will do that. Trust me.
Thank you.
I'm happy to see this too because this particular design in Takamizawa, I don't know why it is, frequently this one is foxed. And it's a bit of a mystery to us. We've got many, many Takamizawa sets of these. And I can't say almost always, but very frequently, this design is foxed and not other ones. And it's difficult to do gradation. What if you were the publisher asking the printer to do the gradation, would you ask him to follow the curve or would you ask him to do the gradation straight? Do you see the difference?
Curve.
So, can I get a bit closer?
This side is wider than the
So
other side.
what he's done is the top gradation. Hello, the top gradation is straight, of course, as it should be. Hi, we're still live. Good morning. And this print, Hokusai's done something a little bit unusual. There's actually a curve of a horizon here. And the printer hasn't done the gradation following the horizon. He's done the gradation straight out. I think to me that looks kind of strange. If I were the publisher here, I would have asked the printer to keep it at a certain distance, and I would have asked him to follow the curve. I don't know, to go back to the original Hokusai designs, what was it done in the original Edo era? I don't know. Okay, we can't go through them all. I think we'll keep it there. Okay, gang, thank you very much. It's been a bit of a strange stream today. Doesn't matter. This is a job that I had to do and have to do for the rest of the day. So I've invited you along to see some of this. Next Monday stream, as I mentioned, next Monday will be a guest corner with Mafalda-san, I think, looking at her scrolls and doing some painting. Then from then on, the Thursday stream and next Saturday, almost certainly I won't be here. I will be upstairs printing. I have been called to a new profession. Dave is, for as long as I can see now, I am going to be a printer. I can explain in more detail a bit later, but clearly the different jobs that I do here, the number one priority for the next little while has to be printing. So you're going to see a bunch more of that probably starting on Thursday. I think that's it. Let's put the outside camera up. I've had fun doing this today. It's cool. I always enjoy it. It's Christmas time, you know. I mean, who wouldn't enjoy opening packages? No floater today. I'm sorry. And you can see too how busy it is out there. Usually when we're finishing our stream, it's still quiet. It's going to be a very busy day here. Okay, enough. Time to get out. Thanks very much. Thanks to all the mods for their help. Konigami-san, holding fort with me together. And I'll see you guys on Monday morning. Thank you, and see you then. 3, 2, 1, out of here.